I'll just walk on this one little thing right here. I feel a little bit safer. Maybe not. Okay. There's just these random electric scooters all over the place. I gotta go into the museum and ask them about that. But I'm here in, oh, let me turn the camera around. What's up, everybody? I'm Prepper Princess, the author of Living on Almost Nothing. If you're interested in purchasing my book, I will go ahead and leave a link down in the description box below. I'm here in Reading. I was making a sale of one of my solar generators, and since I'm here, I might as well explore my backyard. So we are at the beautiful Sacramento River and the Sundial Bridge, which is very, very cool. I have a man staring at me, which is weird. But it's really pretty out here. Oh. Exploring my backyard in Northern California. Oh, we got a fisherman over there. And over there. And giant ducks beneath us. Ooh. You know, when I was a kid, not a kid, teens and early 20s, my birthday's in August and my brother's is in October. And my mom used to buy my brother and I a whitewater rafting on the Sacramento River in September, which is off season, so it's a little bit cheaper. And my brother and I would come whitewater rafting doing class 3s, 4s, and 5s, starting in, I can't remember the name of the town, Truckee, starting in Truckee. It's cold up there in October, September. So pretty. See, this is what a frugal person likes to do. I didn't spend any money. I actually came here and I made money selling one of my generators. And since I'm here, I'm doing something for free. Although I'm gonna go just check on the museum prices because you get to feed the birds when you buy an admission. And I wanna feed the birds because a $2 experience or a $25 experience, you know, sometimes you gotta spend some money, but most of the time I spend nothing. But it sure beats going to a movie. Today's Monday. Awesome. All right, everybody. I'm having a hard time seeing what's on my screen. So Sundial Bridge was brought to Redding, California in 2004. It was a designed artistic bridge. And when you walk on it, it's see-through, very creepy. So since the museum is closed on Mondays, and that's, of course, the day that I'm here, I'm just gonna chill out and walk the trail and have myself a snack. Oh, whoa, never mind. There's a nice, big, ugly spider guarding my snack, which is a bunch of blackberries. He can have it. he can have it. I'm not going to show you because some people get freaked out by spiders, but yeah. He's about as big as half my thumb, which is big enough to give me the creeps. But yeah, this is what frugal folks do, people. People pay to come here, and people pay to take an Airbnb or a hotel or to do whatever to come and visit the Sundial Bridge and the museum, which I can't visit. Really wanted to feed the birds. $2 for feeding the little cute birds. But wow, it's really beautiful, and it's actually really shallow, like way far out. I could just stand I could stand there like 100 feet out. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it. Nope. That thing, it's just right on Right on the thing. And one thing I'm noticing whenever I leave my tiny town, my little teeny tiny town, and I come to a bigger town like this, I see homeless right away. We don't have anywhere I live, but they're everywhere here. There's actually signs all over this place that says no camping, no fires, no cigarettes, no e-cigarettes on the trail. So you know at some point people were camping here. Give you that background. Yep, there you go. But yeah, Redding is also known as the trails capital of the world. So I need to spend a lot more time here. And if I'm going to move in the future, it's either going to be closer to my brother or closer to here, because trails capital of the world for an outdoorsy girl, it's the place to be. All right, everybody, let's talk about money saving and frugality here for a second. You know, I think I've been on YouTube for 7 years now, and I don't give attention to haters anymore. I don't, and it's so funny how people misconstrue a lot of the things that I say about talking about haters. Just an example, I put up a post about Rocky being confused about his bed, and I got him a new bed, because he wasn't really confused, he just kept sleeping on Nala's bed, which is way too small for him. So I got him a Rocky-sized bed. And there's been a couple people who, they're not trolls. They're not trying to be mean. They're just concerned about the cysts on Rocky's paws. So I put in that post that I took him to the vet and it's non-cancerous and can't be operated on and all that stuff. And then people assumed that I was talking to haters or talking to trolls. And they always say, don't give them attention. I'm like, that's not what this is. This is just me telling everybody, in case you were wondering, that I've got stickers. Hold on, let me get these off. It's just me telling people ahead of time in case they're wondering what's wrong with Rocky. There's nothing wrong with Rocky. He's got a perfect bill of health. He's my boy. And pretty soon we're taking him and Nala to the Redwood Forest, because it's on my bucket list. Dogs aren't allowed on this trail, even though I've seen a couple, but I don't care. I'm just out here trying to get my 10,000 steps. A lot of people also asked, how did the 20 pounds in 30 days go? Like, did you keep losing? No. As soon as I made that video, I stopped everything and gained, let's see, I ended at 151, so I gained half of it back, 161. And now I'm doing it again. Just getting in 10,000 steps instead of 12. I'm not doing it as quickly. Getting 10,000 steps instead of 12, moving around a lot more, and, you know, eating my one meal a day with my coffees. That's pretty standard for what I do anyway. No carbs, no sugar, which I think is just a healthy way to live. And, you know, once in a while I can have carbs. I haven't had any, but I can. And I don't have to worry about it. I'm just working on changing my lifestyle. I am sweating. It is 98 degrees out. And this video is not coming out till December. And you're probably like, I'm not watching anymore. She schedules ahead. Well, there's a reason for that. A lot of people get seasonal affective disorder. They get sad in the wintertime and they always want to watch videos with beautiful greenery and sunshine because it lifts their mood. So I'm doing this in the summertime and I'm future dating them to wintertime so that if people are watching, they get a little bit happier. I just want you guys to be a little bit happier. At least for the month of December, because that's December, January is when it's like the worst. So I'm trying to help you guys out. So the weight loss was still, most people gained it all back and then some. I didn't get to that point. I started at 171. I actually noticed when I was at 174 and then I just started doing stuff and I didn't start tracking it till I got down to 171. But yeah, so now I'm at 161.5 and it's only been, I don't know, I've only been doing this for like 5 days, trying to get my 10,000 steps in, trying to explore my backyard here in Northern California, see some beautiful places. And Redding, the Sundial Bridge, it's It's beautiful. For starters, the Sacramento River right here is extremely clear and clean. Lots of people out on the water. And if I were to move, because the house I'm in, I'm not going to stay there forever. It's just, that's not what it's intended to be. It's a stopping point. I no longer have a home. I just have a house to live in while I fix it up. Then once it's fixed up, I'll save up and move on like I did last time. That's sort of the plan at the moment. It'll take me several years before I'm able to do it again, but still. But if I move, Redding is the trails capital of the world, but I don't know how I feel about all the people. There's so many people here. It's like population 89 or 90,000. It's like going back to Livermore. It's just too many people. But it is the trails capital of the world. So at least I can be out in nature a lot with the puppers. You see that? I bet you that's for a mud run. Oh, there's a squirrel. I gotta do a mud run. I'm gonna look up mud runs. I don't think they'd start till October, November. But I think I'll do one. I don't know if I'd be able to film it because it's muddy. All right, folks, so people are having really hard times right now. Look at that. People are having really hard times right now. More of their funds are going to non-discretionary spending. Their funds are going to bills that are bills. They have to pay them. And then that leaves less money for discretionary spending. So stuff that you don't have to buy, but you buy anyway. And when that happens, people are spending less money, so the economy is not moving as quickly as it was. Businesses contract. They do hiring freezes first, then they start the layoffs. Stocks go down. And people often worry, are we headed for the next Great Depression? Well, whenever the stock market is up, the YouTube algorithm pretty much goes to investing, Bitcoin, Tesla, stuff like that. It's like, put your money in here now, AMC. What is that video game place that went all crazy that's worthless? That sort of thing. When the economy is down, like it is right now, people start talking about there being the next Great Depression and freaking out. Take all your money out of the stock market now. Sell everything. Hoard cash. Well, I don't prescribe to either of those. So let's say there is a next Great Depression. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to stop something like that. You as an individual cannot stop it. All you can do is minimize the pain that happens to you personally. How does one minimize financial pain? For me personally, I live a little above the poverty line now because I spend $500 a month in medical insurance. Something around $1,200 a month total. So let's say a next Great Depression happens. What's going to change in my life? What's going to change for me? So for me, what's going to change is very little. What's going to change for me is no more insurance, no more medical, no more home insurance, no more car insurance. That's it. And I pay my car insurance yearly, so there's more than likely that I'll have plenty of time to use my car. And people say, and I tell people, like, this is the Great Depression. If you're talking about the Great Depression, you're talking about survival. You're not talking about not being able to shop on Amazon. You're talking about not having an income. You're talking about no goods are available, kind of like during the you-know-what, where there were toilet paper and stuff like that. Same thing happened during the Great Depression because of the Dust Bowl. So there was not a lot of food. There was not a lot of food, and people had to grow a lot of their own stuff. I feel like I'm already set for something like that to happen because I already spend so little. And let's say my dividend portfolio went during the Great Depression. It was a 90% drop. So let's say mine's a 90% drop. Okay, I'm still making $3,000 a year off of my investments. And let's say my rental property Now remember, during the Great Depression, there was up to like 30% unemployment, which means 70% of people were still employed. And people say I would not be able to rent out my rental, even though 70% of people were still employed. That doesn't make logical mathematical sense. So I would still have my rental property, which is, after all the expenses, about $1,250 to $1,300 a month. I would be fine. I'd be fine. And let's say I'm only able to get half off of my rental. Still fine. Let's say I'm only able to get, whatever. I'm still fine. I would fish, definitely fish for food. Because if it's unavailable, it's unavailable. I'm not talking about pricing. I'm not talking about buying meat. I'm talking about if it's unavailable, I'm going fishing and foraging, which I already do. My whole freezer is full of homegrown tomatoes, zucchini, and foraged blackberries, blueberries, figs, plums. So, hold on. But unfortunately, what happens when the economy is down is people start freaking out. They really do. And how many times has the economy been down where people freak out and they lose their shirts or they make bad decisions? Because when you're desperate, you make desperate decisions. Now, I've been teaching you all for 7 years. Hopefully you've been listening for 7 years, and you've been investing for 7 years. You've been saving money, and you have a huge 6 months to a year emergency fund by using my methods to save money, getting Mint Mobile, getting rid of any streaming services or memberships. If you're spending $50 a month on a gym membership, whatever equipment you use, buy it. Within 6 months of not having a gym membership, you'll make your money back, and then it's free from there on out. Using less electricity, less water. And one of the things that is very detrimental to the United States is the fact that we are such a consumer culture. We don't understand the difference anymore between necessity and not necessity. I've been to third world countries. Running water is a luxury. A luxury. I've been to places where there are entire towns made out of that metal sheathing that people use for roofs on their sheds, and their houses are 10 feet by 10 feet made out of garbage. I've been there. So when people say, I don't want to live in a house that's that cheap, I laugh at them. I'm just like, okay, you've never been to a third world country, never. Electricity is a luxury. It's not a necessity. It's a luxury. So many people don't have electricity. Food every day. Most Americans eat 3 meals a day. Food once a day is a luxury. It's not a necessity. People in other countries live off of 1 meal every 5 days for their entire lives. No medical insurance. People say medical insurance is a necessity. It's a luxury. How many people in third world countries do you know of that have medical insurance or good medical care at all, period? You go in there with an appendicitis and you're dead within a certain amount of time because they don't have the equipment, they don't have the tools, they don't even have plastic gloves. They don't even have that. And people try and tell me that they would never live in a house that's only with such a low price because of the schools, or I don't want to live in a place with that climate or whatever. It's a luxury. Most of the world does not have the luxuries that we have. And running water is a luxury. Electricity is a luxury. A fireplace is a luxury. It's a luxury. You have no idea. So if the Great Depression happens, I'm going to use my knowledge that I learned in third world countries. I'm going to use the knowledge that I know of and stay humble and know what is a necessity and what is a luxury. I'm going to turn everything off. I'm going to haul my own water. I'm going to use the solar on top of my house to sell back to the power company so I have money, and then I'm just gonna not use electricity, or I'm going to use my solar generators as electricity. I'm gonna do everything I can to make money. I'm gonna fix fences and walk dogs and build dog houses, build things out of scrap material. I'm not gonna buy new clothes or shoes. You know, shoes are getting fixed with shoe glue and duct tape. This nothing new. And remember, the Great Depression lasted 10 years. Do you have what it takes to last for 10 years? 10 years. I know I do. I have everything I need to last 10 years. As long as the coffee is still flowing, I will survive. All right, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this beautiful outdoor activity at Sundial Bridge and the wonderful Turtle Bay Trail. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out.